Breaking news, guys. Miss Paula Llewelyn remains Jamaica DPP, and the PNP is 18 talking a load of shaving cream. But guess what? The right person for the job has win today as the Court of Appeal has overturned a constitutional court decision stating that the lower court was wrong. Again, wrong. And Miss Paula Llewelyn is entitled to benefit from an increase in the retirement age. Huh.
It was a unanimous decision from Justices Jennifer Straw, Vivian Harris, and Kisok Leng. They say Paula Llewelyn is entitled to benefit from the extension found to have been validly enacted by the Parliament. In providing a summary of the reasons for the court's judgment, Justice Straw concluded the Constitutional Court was correct to reject the argument advanced by the People's National Party that the amendment was enacted for an improper purpose. The appellate judges also agreed with the lower court that Section 2.1 of the amendment did not circumvent the process laid down in the Constitution for the extension of the term of the office of a Director of Public Prosecutions. The judges then turned to the question of whether the amendment could lawfully be applied to Paula Llewelyn. Here, they found the lower court made an error.
We find as such that the full court erred in limiting the applicability of the section in this regard. We conclude, therefore, that Section 2.1 of the Amending Act is applicable to the incumbent DPP.
The appeal court judges then turned to whether Section 2.2 was inconsistent with the Supremacy Clause of the Constitution. Here again, they concluded the lower court judges were in error. Justice Straw described the test applied by the lower court judges as problematic and a misunderstanding of the law.
In determining the validity of Section 2.2, the full court used the following test. Open quotations, whether the Amending Act is in substance different from that which was originally contemplated by the drafters of Section 96.1, or whether the Amending Act alters what Section 96.1 had originally said in the Constitution. Close quotation. Both questions were answered in the affirmative. We conclude that that test, as formulated, was problematic and appeared to be a misunderstanding of the law expounded by Lord Diplock in Hinds and the Queen.
The appeal court judges say the lower court should have determined whether Parliament conformed to the requirements of the Constitution and whether the Parliament had the power to pass the amendment in the manner that it did. Justice Straw says the lower court judges again fell into error in their interpretation of the effect of Section 2.2 of the amendment passed by the Holness administration.
Upon the promulgation of the Amending Act, the incumbent DPP automatically benefited from the increased retirement age by virtue of Section 2.1. Section 2.2 did not add to that benefit and is therefore not unconstitutional or inconsistent with 2.1. The full court erred in declaring that Section 2.2 of the Amending Act was an invalid constitutional amendment and is to be severed from the Amending Act and struck down as being unconstitutional, non-void, and of no legal effect.
The appeal court also rejected arguments from the PNP urging it to read down sections of the amendment from applying to Paula Llewelyn. They also rejected the lower court's conclusion that there is need for agreement between the Prime Minister and the opposition leader to extend the DPP's tenure in office. They concluded that the consultation does not mean agreement. The Court of Appeal therefore upheld the Holness administration's appeal and rejected the PNP's counter-appeal. The government was represented by King's Counsel Alan Wood, Ransford Braham, and attorneys Nico Pagan and Samoy Campbell. The PNP was represented by King's Counsel Michael Hilton and attorney Kevin Powell. It's understood once the Registrar of the Court of Appeal issues the certificate of the ruling to the Public Service Commission, the acting appointment of Claudette Thompson as DPP is expected to be revoked. Paula Llewelyn will then lawfully be permitted to resume her duties. Her term comes to an end in September of 2025. Ricardo Brook,